Hello students, chapter friction is already introduced. Today I am starting types of friction and laws of friction. Hope you are paying attention and taking interest in your studies. Best of luck, keep studying. Let us understand limiting friction. Students, I give one example to make you understand better. Suppose a block is kept on a surface. Some force is being applied on the block. A small force is being applied on the block. You see that block is not moving. Now think about Newton's law. If force is applied on a body, the body must move. But here body is not moving. Reason? As soon as you apply a force, frictional force develops in opposite direction exactly in same magnitude as external force applied by you. So resultant force acting on the body becomes zero and body is not moving. Now you increase your force in a small amount. Again you see that body is not moving. Because when you increase your force, frictional force also increases and again resultant force becomes zero. Thus we can say that frictional force is self-adjusting. Means as external force increases, frictional force also increases. But frictional force adjusts itself up to a limit if your force, that is external force, increases that limit. The body is in a position to move, or you can say body is about to move. That is limiting condition of friction. The maximum value of frictional force or frictional or external force applied at which the body is about to move is called limiting frictional force. There are certain laws of limiting friction. First law says that magnitude of limiting friction depends on nature of surface in contact. It does not depend on size and area. Very simple. Suppose on a table, a book and a duster are kept. So nature of surfaces in contact for book and the duster are different. So both the bodies will be experiencing different frictional force. Second law says that frictional force is tangential to the surface in contact and its direction is opposite to direction in which body would start moving. In simple language, direction of frictional force is always opposite to motion or tendency of motion. Third law says that frictional force is proportional to normal reaction. Just think about Newton's law, I have already explained. In that chapter, I have explained normal reaction. Recall your memory. Same normal reaction is being discussed here. So third law says that frictional force is directly proportional to normal reaction, or frictional force is equal to mu s into r. Here mu s is a constant of proportionality. This constant is called coefficient of static friction. Now think about what is static. I suppose you are knowing that friction is effective or friction is working in both conditions, whether a body is stationary or body is in motion. I make it clear. Suppose a body is kept and some small force is applied on the body and body is not moving because frictional force is opposing externally applied force. So this time frictional force acting on the body is static frictional force. Here we are discussing static frictional force. Now think about second kind of friction, kinetic friction. When force applied on the body increases limiting friction, then body comes in motion. In that condition, the frictional force acting on the body is called kinetic friction. Direction of frictional force is same as direction of kinetic frictional force is same as direction of static frictional force. Laws of kinetic friction are very similar to laws of static friction. There is slight difference. First point, force of kinetic friction is independent of contact area of the two bodies, while it is dependent in case of static friction. Second law describes direction, which is same as static friction. Third law is almost same. Kinetic frictional force represented by Fk, small fk, is again proportional to normal reaction, or Fk is equal to mu k into r. Here mu k is constant, which is called coefficient of kinetic friction. Here we are plotting a graph for frictional force and applied force for both the conditions, static and kinetic. See the graph carefully. In a static condition, graph is inclined straight line passing from origin, means when no external force is applied, no frictional force is being experienced by the body. Since graph is inclined straight line, so as force, externally applied force increases, accordingly frictional force increases up to certain limit given by point A. The point A describes limiting condition. As soon as externally applied force increases that limit, you see a small dip in the graph, means frictional force decreases slightly when body comes in motion. The conclusion is kinetic friction is slightly less than static friction. Afterwards, graph is almost parallel to horizontal axis, means kinetic friction is almost constant when body is in motion. Thank you, students. I suppose you could understand. Best of luck.